house, there was a table set up under a tree, where March Hare and Heather were having tea. In the middle of them, there was a dormouse who was asleep and used as a cushion by the two of them.
Very uncomfortable for the dormouse, but it's asleep, so I suppose that's mine.
Then Alice walked over to join the table with March Hare, the Heather, and Dormouse, but they didn't approve Alice of joining them even though the table was a large one.
No room.
No, no room, no room.
What do you mean there's no room? There's a plenty of room.
Yeah, but it wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
It's very rude indeed.
Well, I didn't know it's your table. It's lit for great many more than 3.
Your hair wants cutting.
You should learn not to make personal remarks, Mother. It's very rude.
Instead of answering Alice, the Hatter ignored Alice's statement and he began to try answering the riddle he has been trying to solve.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Wow! Time to have fun by answering the riddles. I believe I can guess that.
Do you mean you can find out the answer to it? What is it then?
Yes, ravens and writing desks are just the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. You might just say, I like what I get. It's the same thing as I get what I like.
It's also like saying, how I read when I sleep is the same thing as how I sleep when I breathe.
The dormouse is asleep again. Ouch! Ouch! It's hot! It's hot!
Of course. Just what I was going to remark myself.
Have you guessed the riddle yet, Alice?
No, I give it up. Have you all found the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor have I.
Alice was thinking overall she could remember about the ravens and the reading desk, but she couldn't remember much.
We quarreled last March, just before he gets mad. You know, it was a great concert given by the Queen of Hearts. But I had to sing. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder where you're at. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle.
Here the dormouse shook itself and began singing to sleep. Twinkle, 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 and went on so long that they had to pinch it to make it stop.
Wake up, Dormouse. Tell us a story.
And be quick about it, or you'll be asleep again before it's done.
Then the dormouse began in a great hurry. He tells a story about 3 little sisters who were lived at the bottom of a well. Alice tried to fancy herself what such an ordinary way of living would be like, but puzzled her too much.
Why did they drown?
You can draw water out of a water well. So I should think you could draw a triangle out of a triangle well. Stupid?
But they were in the well.
They were learning to draw, and they drew all manner of things. Everything that begins with an M.
Really, now you ask me, don't think?
Then you shouldn't talk.
This piece of rudeness was more than Alice could bear. She got up in a great disgust, and the dormouse fell asleep instantly, and neither of the others took the least notice of her going.
At any rate, I'll never go there again. It's the stupidest tea party I ever was at in all my life.
Just as she said this, she noticed that one of the trees had a door leading right into it. Once more, she found herself in the long hall and close to the little glass table. She began by taking the little golden key and unlocking the door that led into a garden. Then she went to work nibbling at the mushroom till she was about a foot high. Then she walked down the little passage, and then she found herself at last in the beautiful garden. A large rose stood near the entrance of the garden. The roses growing it were white, but there were 3 gardeners at it busily painting them red. Alice thought this very curious, and she went nearer to watch them. And just as she came up to them, she heard one of them say,
Look out now, Five! Don't go splashing paint over me like that!
That's right, Five. Always lay the blame on the others.
You'd better not to talk. I heard the queen say, only yesterday you deserved to be beheaded.
That's none of your business, too. Would you tell me why you are painting those roses?
Who is this? Idiot. What's your name, child?
My name is Alice, so please, Your Majesty.
And who are this?
How should I know? It's no business of mine.
Off with your head.
Nonsense.
Consider, my dear, she is the only child.
Can you play croquet?
Yes.
Come on then.
It's a very fine day. Fairy, where is the Duchess? Shh. She is under sentence of execution. What for? Did you say, what pity? No, I didn't. I don't think it's all a pity. I said, what for? She boxed the queen's ears. Shh, the queen will hear you. You see, she came rather late, and the queen said,
Get to your place.
In a very short time, the queen was in a furious passion. Alice began to feel very uneasy. She thought,
and then, what would become of me? They are dreadfully fond of beheading people here. The great wonder is that there's anyone left alive.
How are you going on?
I don't think they play at all fairly, and they don't seem to have any rules in particular. And you have no idea how confusing it is all the thing being alive. And I shouldn't have croqueted the queen's hedgehog just now. Only it ran away when it saw coming.
How do you like the queen?
Not at all. She's so extremely likely to win that it's hardly worthwhile finishing the game.
Who are you talking to?
It's my friend, a cashier cat. Allow me to introduce it.
I don't like the look of it at all. However, it may kiss my hand if it likes.
I'd rather not.
Don't be impertinent. Don't look at me like that.
A cat may look at a king. I have read that in some book, but I don't remember where.
Well, it must be removed. My dear, I wish you would have this cat removed.
Off with his head.
I'll fetch the executioner myself.
when Alice got back to the cashier cat, there was dispute going on between the executioner, the king, and the queen. They looked very uncomfortable, and she asked them to talk to her.
Anything that had a head could be beheaded.
If something wasn't done about it, everybody must be executed.
It belongs to the Duchess. You'd better ask her about it.
She's in prison. Fetch her here.
The executioner went off. The cat's head began fading away and disappeared. The king and the executioner ran wildly up and down looking for it.